moment. It was muted. All right. How about now? How about now? Miss RRC, how are you doing? No audio. It should be on now. Sergeant Bob's in the house over there on D Live. Appreciate you. 5 by 5, good to go. All right, that's what I like to hear. Welcome everybody. See how you doing? Empire's Post, Northern Tiger, Dan McElroy. Um, now my mouse is slow. What the hell? Um, all right, 12B Georgia, TJ Jones, Eric Snow. Good to see you. Gary Holland, Effie, Guy Myers, Empire's Post again. Dangerous Freedom, what's happening? Rebel Jack. Look at all the folks in the house. Miss Margot, how you doing? Hello, Deidre. Gladys, good to see you. Oh, all right. So I think I got everybody except for DBK 36. How you doing? True Kells, what's up? California Cricket, what's happening, Holmes? Que onde se loco? What's happening? Denise, welcome, Born a Racer. Wow, we got a good full house coming over here. Now we got some headlines to catch up on because of the long-awaited separation or long-taken separation. Benny, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Anyway, Miss Belinda will not be attending tonight. She had another engagement come up. Sergeant Bob, appreciate the lemon. Thank you, thank you. I'm looking over here at my chat real quick. I've got my system set up a little differently. I've got everything over here for my headlines and right here for all my chat. So makes it kind of weird. So if I'm going like this, it doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. It means that I'm reading a headline. So Lynn, how you doing? Good to see you. All right. Well, let's get this road on the show over here. I'm going to go ahead and hit my screen share because we're going to be doing this. Well, thank you, Effie. Loves that. Appreciate it. All right. So, yeah, is it going to be bigger than that, I hope? Maybe not. Well, I might be able to do this over here. Come over here and go BAM! All right. So, I'm doing this a little bit differently. I'm getting used to the screen share thing, so I'm trying to let you guys follow along with me. And as you know, it's been 21 days since my last show, so there's a lot of VA headlines. Unfortunately, a lot of them have to do with the sniffles. Um, let's see. I'm going to check through here, make sure, see what's going on. The VA DoD implement new capability for bi-directional sharing of health records with community partners. Now, that's kind of handy whether we got the sniffles or not. Hello, Colleen. The reason being is because of the CARE Act for veterans being seen on the outside. So communication between your physician and the people that you're seeing on the outside can be bumpy. Trying to get documents from a federal facility into a private facility and back and forth. Yeah, no one trusts Jeff anymore about birthdays. Yeah, I'm not even going to tell him when my birthday is. I'm just going to enjoy all the birthdays he's given me all year. So anyway, we'll keep going with that. I promise it's her birthday. Right. Yeah, we got you, buddy. All right. This is out of Washington on April 18th. The Federal Electric Health Record Modernization Program Office, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, and the U.S. Department of Defense launched a modernization health data sharing capability, enhancing both departments' ability to securely exchange records with community healthcare partners. The joint DoD and the VA Health Information Exchange allows providers in both departments to quickly and securely access electronic health records, data for their patients seen by participating community partners or health systems, Equally important, participating community partner providers now have single point of entry to request and access DoD VA electronic health records for the use in their treatment of those patients. Now, I got to ask, how are we going to get it in there? Mark B, how you doing? Stony up in here. It must be. I see him. Okay. How you doing, Stony? Appreciate you, brother. The question I have is going to be, what do we give the physicians so that they can access our records? So I'm going to keep going and see what it says here. The recent CV sniffles pandemic underlines the importance for clinicians on the front lines to quickly access a patient's health record, regardless of where that patient previously received care. That is Dr. Neil Evans that said that, the interim director of Federal Electronic Health Record Modernization Program Office. As the DoD and the VA implement a single common record, the Joint Health Information Exchange and the associated expansion of community exchange partners is a critical step forward, delivering immediate value to all DoD and VA sites. Just going to have to scroll down here a minute. The benefits of the new joint HIE capability are currently available to all VA and DoD care providers and to all participating community partners. The joint HIE also provides a platform for future interoperability expansion, including connection to Commonwealth, a network of more than 15,000 community providers expected later this year. Now, what I'm not seeing here, though, obviously I see a website down here at the bottom. My Healthy Vet would probably be a good place to start. But when you go to a physician in the outside world, you have to be able to give them something that they can use to access your data, and I don't see that. So that'll be something you have to look into. What is it you give your physician in order for them to be able to access your records? That's going to be important. Anyway, so there's more to come on that one, I'm sure. All right. It says the VA's telehealth system grows as veterans have access to unlimited data while using VA Video Connect. All right. We'll take that one. That's I don't need to open that one, but it's the video telemed or video conferencing. They're getting, it's building, so we'll see how it does as time goes. Timeline on how VA prepared for the sniffles outbreak and continues to keep veterans safe. Now, we don't need to know the timeline. We're pretty sure we've got a timeline. VA researchers to study sniffles in aging veterans with dementia. Now, that one I did see earlier. I wanted to pop that open. Charity, how you doing? No contacts. You're going to be doing what now? I finally have a cell phone. No contacts. Oh, yeah. Well, you're going to want to get your numbers. DM is in the house. Hello, DM. Over here in, let me check my D-Live real quick. And if you haven't gotten my D-Live, please take a minute and go follow me on D-Live. I just want to try to keep up. Do your best to care and use telehealth as much as possible. That's a good point. Anytime you can stay away from hospitals, they make you sick. Jeff just followed. Appreciate you. Thank you. And welcome. Eric Chanel. What did I miss?
Are you looking for my cat because of Alex's pup?
Looking for your cat because of my pup? Oh, okay. Well, hope you get a cat. All right.
Looking for his cat.
Yeah, well, it could be his cat. Could be a cat he wants to get. Shanty, thank you. Bear hugs and kisses. What a rush. All right, so let's get over here. And I want to see what's going on there. VA researchers to cut. All right. Now, this concerns me slightly because we're starting to hear about people that were older people that came down with the sniffles that were plunged into nursing homes for convalescent care and then ended up messing up a bunch of people in the nursing home. And I got to speak code if you guys are going to actually see this video. And I'm sorry about that, but this is so stupid. The censorship is out of hand. The algorithm shuts us down. So when I have to say certain words, it's because I want to get this information out. I don't want it being shut off. So kind of bear with me on that. Sometimes what I say just sounds stupid. But anyway, we're looking into this now, and it's another Washington report. Researchers at the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs Providence VA Medical Center began in early April studying the effects of the sniffles on veterans living in VA community living centers. The National Institute on Aging awarded a $184,375 grant this month to the VA Center for Innovation in Long-Term Services and Supports. Researchers will focus on the potential effects of the sniffles on nursing home patients with cognitive decline resulting primarily from dementia, like our Joe Biden. Luciana, what? I got my chat. Yeah. Yeah. She's a trip. Redistricting stuff white people from governing. Yeah, I know she's under investigation. We'll have to see what goes with that. Um, your pup tater looks just like Penny. He is a chiffon. It is a Shih Tzu mix. Yeah, ours is too. Um, she's a Shih Tzu mix. She's a what is that? Um, Maltese. Ours is a Maltese Shih Tzu. If it was mixed with a pit bull, it would be a bullshit. But that's beside the point. Um, anyway, the grant will allow researchers to examine risk factors for the sniffles in these veterans, outcomes of intensive care use, and how the sniffles spreads through the CLC. Knowledge VA will then use to better protect this group of patients. How about keep it out of the facility? Um, I'm glad you're offended. It makes my millennium when you get offended on my show. I mean, there's not a whole lot of other satisfying things in my life, but that sure is definitely one of them. All right. So anyway, they're going to do more studies, but the scary part is what are they going to do to study? Let's get this one sick and see how well he does. Military does that kind of thing. Um, all right, so the last one in here in intergovernmental affairs. Oh, we've got a hiring increase. While many people are losing theirs, New Jersey public school teachers caught on camera telling students she hopes they die from coronavirus for playing. Oh, crap, I just said it too. Playing outside. Libtards are so passionate, aren't they? Yes, they are absolutely passionate as long as we would just die and get out of their way so they can be passionate alone. Um, yeah, people are sick. All right. VA's hiring jumps 37%, folks. So the 22 million people on unemployment because of the sniffles don't need to panic because other people are filling jobs related to the sniffles. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs has significantly increased hiring in the 2 weeks ending mid April, a surge that will continue in the coming weeks as VA works to protect patients from the sniffles disease. During the time frame from March 29th to April 11th, VA hired 3,183 new staff members, of which 981 registered nurses, a 37.7% increase from the prior 2 week period. So, that's interesting. Let me see over here. Let me get over on my D Live, see what's going on. Um, yeah, Penny's on the floor right now. She's trying to keep me distracted by every time I get on here, she starts hitting me in the leg with one of her stuffed animals, of which she has many, and she just keeps doing that until I look down and give her some attention. But she's an attention hog. Anyway, so VA has moved aggressively to ensure each of its 170 hospitals and more than 1,200 clinics are staffed to handle the increased flow of patients due to the sniffles. The effort protects both veteran and non veteran patients. VA tests as part of its fourth mission in serving as backstop during a national health crisis. So that's okay. They're going to be picking up the slack. So anyway, that is, let's get over there and close that one because that's about it on intergovernmental affairs. Look up the fun vaccine. No, thank you. Um, I'm just not going to be stuck with anything. My son is going back to work as a respiratory therapist because the VA put a call out. Okay, cool. I appreciate him. So you don't have a dog, you have a hog.
Huh?
Somebody has. We used to have a big pink pig that thought she was a dog. She died of cancer. Really sucked. Um, you can't remember the D Live login, so you're gonna stay here for now. See if you can get that because it's going to be important that you jump over there on D Live. We're going to be doing a D Live drive tomorrow on R-rated conservative channel. Pete the Patriot, myself, R-rated conservative, and many guests. We're trying to do a D Live drive, get everybody moved over to D Live en masse because our time here is short. Uh, all the signs are being thrown against the wall. It's coming, and when it comes, we're just going to be gone. Thank you, Effie. Appreciate you putting my D Live up there. If you haven't followed, please do. Uh, Slanty Shafau, how you doing? I think I'm going to have me a. You do that. Oh, with a chaser, right on. Computer issues, DM. Good lord, I thought you were tapped into the CIA. You shouldn't have computer issues. You saved those for me. All right, let's look here at what we have going on in the Veterans Times newspaper. Couple of the headlines here that I wanted to bring up. Um, VA launches campaign to increase veteran economic potential as we are facing one of the most cataclysmic recessions in history, borderline on depression. You're on your stupid iPad. It hates you. I'm sorry to hear that. My computer hates me too. Computers are evil. Secretary of Veterans Affairs Robert A. McDonald. I wonder if this is an old article. Have they not updated their stuff? That's what I'm doing because it's Wilkie right now that is the VA secretary.
You didn't get my joke. Murphy.
Oh, oh, thank you for the lemons. Propus, appreciate you. Stony, oh, dropped me an ice cream. Appreciate you, brother. You guys are going to fill me up. All right. Now that's interesting. It sent me to see. Okay, now that's some of that there, some of that bullshit I've been talking about. They don't recite. They don't update their news. I can't believe I almost fell for that. Lynn, I did forget password, but even when I search my Gmail, can't find an email from them. Um, I'm the worst with technology. Nope. You are the second worst with technology. I have everybody beat. Vince Dunn, appreciate the lemon. Thank you, brother. All right, so Veterans Times appears to be irrelevant, and so we're going to be getting rid of Veterans Times because they don't know how to update their information. But we do have military.com, ladies and gentlemen. So this one is interesting. Some of you may know that there's been somebody dropped me a diamond. Thank you for that. Who was that just did that? Was that Brother Stoney? Appreciate you, man. Keep up the good work, brother. I'm going to do the best I can. Drop me an ice cream and a lemon, too. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. So, the story on this little guy right here, um, one of them is that it's built not too far from me, about 45 miles away is where they built this puppy. But it is finally going to be going to the military. The Navy has accepted delivery of the next generation stealth destroyer more than 3 years after its commissioning, the service announced Friday. The destroyer Zimwalt has a working combat system and will move into a new phase of development and sea testing, according to the news release from the Navy Sea System Command. The ship was commissioned in 2016 and broke down a month later while passing through the Panama Canal. I remember not laughing at them, laughing with them. It actually broke down the first day of the sea trials too. They had to tow it back into Mobile, Alabama. Black Matter, how you doing? Wolf Stonehenge, good to see you. Anyway, so it has had some problems, but it is apparently here. But the key word that I caught there was that it is going to be continuing sea trials. Um, so it's going to be developmental and sea testing. So even though it's delivered to the Navy, there's still something up with it. I mean, personally, I just think that thing's ugly, but it doesn't have to be pretty to be in combat. That's one thing about it. Um, Good Sunday evening, Huey Cobra. How you doing? Umpire, appreciate the lemon. Um, all right, so the bottom line is the Navy's got their little gray boat, or LGB as it were, but it's still not ready for service. Nothing but money. It doesn't matter. Uh, Now, another story here that we talked about 2 weeks ago when I was on the. Hello, Pete. Uh, Good to be seen. Yes, me too, Wolf. I am always glad to be seen. Um, Looks like a pyramid. Yeah, it does. All it needs is the all seeing eye floating above it. All right, so we talked a couple of weeks ago about the commander of the Roosevelt that got let go because of the situation with letters that he wrote making their way into the media. Now, I still got a significant problem with this whole thing, but if the man is a man of integrity and he has said adamantly that he did not leak this information to the media, if he's sitting at the helm of a $15 billion aircraft carrier with a boatload of classified information, then he has a security clearance of the utmost. And if he says he did not do it, I have to give the man credit for that, because I also had a security clearance. And if I told somebody I did not do it, I did not do it. So, Slanty, thank you for the diamond. Appreciate you. Now, they want this man reinstated. It's pretty much unanimous among the crew. So, everybody should get another chance. You know, so I'm going to say at this point, I agree with putting him back in command. Uh, the truth has come out. The potential threat was removed until the investigation could be done. And if he was leaking stuff to the media, then that is absolutely a threat. So, with the update of information, I would be willing to take back some of the absolute negativity I had towards the whole situation 2 weeks ago and stand corrected and apologize for my quick judgment. Old Reliables here. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, so that's what I got on that. I'm gonna at this point I'm gonna say let's put him back in command. Let's let this thing go away. But in the other side of this coin, I want personally would like an investigation as to how a potentially classified communication between a carrier captain and his bosses managed to make it into the media. Somebody let it go. And that is where we need to start. We need to find out because the media is completely rogue. They are completely dishonest and they are potentially a real threat to the stability of this country because of the way they're doing things. Um, all right, so the Comfort looks like it's going to be leaving New York. Uh, I would say that people might want to keep an eye on the manifest and the potential new port locations because the whole thing in New York may have been something different, but nobody knows. We're all in the dark about a lot of things. So we just need to see where it goes. Anyway, so the underused hospital ship USNS Comfort sent urgently to New York City last month to help local hospitals battle the sniffles will return to Norfolk, Virginia, possibly as early as next week to prepare for another mission if necessary, the Pentagon said Friday. The Comfort's sister ship, the USNS Mercy, sent from San Diego to Los Angeles last month on a similar mission, will also likely be withdrawn soon, but there have not yet been approvals from California Governor Gavin Newsom or Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, said Jonathan Hoffman, the Pentagon's chief spokesman. All right, I have a little problem with that. I don't believe it's up to them to decide what Navy assets are moved to where and when. Maybe their local National Guard, but they have limitations. They cannot tell the president, you cannot move a Navy asset until we tell you you're ready. I may be wrong, but I just tend to believe that. I really think that the Navy is outside of the command of a governor, and especially a mayor. All right, upon its return to home port of Norfolk, possibly in the next week or two, the Comfort will undergo maintenance and be restocked to prepare for another mission, but that will be FEMA's call, Hoffman said, referring to the Federal Emergency Management Agency. So I guess FEMA has control of the ships? I don't know. There's so many questions about who's got control of anything right now under the Emergency Powers Act. The Comfort arrived at Pier 90 on Manhattan's west side on March 30th in what was then seen as a critical step in an effort to help the city, the U.S. epicenter of the sniffles outbreak, with more than 16,640 deaths of every description, including getting run over by a steamroller. I may have added that part because everything is being called a sniffles expiration at this point. Yes, please follow Stony Stone on D Live. Also, Pete the Patriot, also R-rated conservative. Um, if you see Mrs. R-rated conservative, Mrs. RRC on there, you might be able to tap hers and get to their page. I don't know, but you just tap the name, go to their page, and hit follow, and you'll be right there with me. We'll be ready for when their tube decides to kick our asses to the curb. All right. Now, this is very, very interesting. And I'm bringing this up because I watched a video from our buddy Stony Stone. You can't make this shite up. Make sure you have subscribed to him about the hydrogen peroxide and certain little things with vitamin C and stuff like that. But this one here is I found very interesting. The Guard tests use of hydrogen peroxide foggers to decontaminate HVAC systems. That is brilliant. at its finest because I believe Lou Gehrig's disease or something similar to that ends up coming from the swamp water that's created by air conditioners. So, should this work, decontaminating air conditioners could become the new fad and we end up with healthier indoor air. So, we're going to follow that one. DM what?
Saying sorry.
So, oh, DM, don't apologize. You're good to go.
She said sorry in many chats.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. I have a lot of good people here, so we're going to get it done. Um, all right, I watch Christian who lives in Indonesia, and he is some remote village away from everyone, and they are doing the sniffles BS every even there. Yeah, it's this is the weirdest thing that I've ever seen. Anyway, so we will see what happens, but it says here after Staff Sergeant Chris Hamrick used tape to seal the doors to a conference room in the Woody Williams Operations Center in Yeager Airport, Sergeant First Class Brian Tomasak tapped a command on the keypad and activated a squat, heavy looking device called an aerosolizer. 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 Okay, no Ian. Hydrogen peroxide unit resting on the floor inside. In a few seconds, the AHP unit began to emit a stream of fog, which slowly moved through the room, eventually forming a thick cloud. Now, this is as interesting as UV stuff to me because we know that UV light is a very good uh, killer of viruses. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of the sniffles, and some of you may remember that I was talking about having a decontamination room if it got bad, a tent outside your front door that you can exchange outdoor use clothing with indoor use clothing, and then installing UV lights that you can put hang your clothing under in order to kill off the bacteria. Well, now everybody's talking about UV lights. It's not hidden information. It's just information. Well, it is hidden. It's information they don't want the public to know because they really wanted more death. They really wanted more chaos because with chaos comes order, and they swoop in to save the day, and everybody gets happy because they think they were protected from Mr. Government. We here to help. So let's keep an eye on the hydrogen peroxide decontamination because I think that's going to go a long ways. I think we are very, very slowly getting exposure to some technologies that may have existed for a long time, and they've been kept from the public because we aren't worth protecting with our filthy vermin that we are. So, anyway, so those were the ones that I wanted to talk about specifically in military.com. So I'm going to dump that one, and that's going to take us right into the Military Times. Now, in Military Times, a couple of the articles that I found in here, the first one here, they're talking about the Blue Angels and the Air Force Thunderbirds, the Navy Blue Angels and Air Force Thunderbirds slated to conduct flyovers as a thank you to the Sniffles responders. Um, Nothing is ever what it seems on the surface. There's something more significant because um, I think I've only heard one other time in my life where the two aerobatic teams flew together, and it's just not done that often. So usually when it's something like that, you can expect that there's something more going on. Just the way I am, I see things a little bit different. Um, just keeping up on my chat, trying to make sure I don't forget anybody or miss a question or anything like that. Uh, and what is my time getting to be? I know it's not. Good Lord, already 20 minutes left. All right. The Navy Blue Angels and the Air Force Thunderbirds will conduct a series of flyovers across the nation to honor healthcare workers combating sniffles, President Trump announced Wednesday. Now, why? This is a tribute to them, to all our warriors, Trump told reporters, because they are equal warriors to those incredible pilots and all the fighters that we have for the more traditional fights that we win, and we win. If we want to win, we always win. That's true. Um, Trump said the flyovers are part of a mission dubbed Operation America Strong, and was a brainchild of service members. Operation America Strong was the idea of our great military men and women, the Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels crews, who wanted to show support to American medical workers who, just like military members in a time of war, are fiercely running towards the fight. Trump said, "It's going to be great. I want to see those shows. I've seen them many times, and I can't get enough of them. I want to know which cities are slated to be flyovers, and if those are markers, But what do I know?" The Washington Post first reported, Washington Compost, excuse me, said their name wrong. First reported that the Pentagon was devising a plan for the flyover before Trump publicly shared the development. And see, that's what I'm talking about. The media is gone rogue. They're putting stuff out without confirmation. They're putting stuff out that's potentially classified. They're putting misinformation out. They are a threat to this country. According to Pentagon memos shared with the Post, the flyovers are scheduled over the course of the next several weeks. Uh, Both demonstration teams are set to fly over cities including Washington, Baltimore, New York, Newark, Trenton, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Austin, per the memo. Separately, the Blue Angels will conduct flyovers in at least 13 other cities, while the Thunderbirds will fly over at least another 8 cities independently. "This is just a sincere thank you," the senior military official said, according to the Washington Post. "It's one way to acknowledge those who are pitching in. Although hourly operation costs of the squadrons run around 60,000, the official said that the Pentagon will absorb the cost with funding already allocated in the department's budget." Okay. Uh, Part of this may be just part of the pile-on to make sure that the bankruptcy of the Federal Reserve is fully intact. We want to make sure we do that. That way, the National Treasury can take over. I've been to Yakima, Washington desert. Okay. If a man does not master his circumstances, then he is bound to be mastered by them. Well said. Good point. All right. Um, there's a couple of things here. Like, this is what the special ops learned 40 years ago from Operation Eagle Claw. Um, you might want to look that Eagle Claw up if you want to understand it. Every mission that is done has some kind of a title. Um, all right, the Navy destroyer Kidd reports a rise in the sniffles up to 33. So there are at least 3 different therapies now to cure this thing quickly. So it's going to become a nothing burger real soon. But the fear porn headlines are going to be important to continue. Um, yeah, all right. So this is interesting here. We've been hearing a lot about Kim Jong Un. Nobody knows the truth. Everything that you get at this point is speculation. That country is tighter than most people's rectum. And look at this, Alex. What am I? Not sure. Can't hit the thing right this minute, but if I do, it'll screw up everything. But I'll look at it after I'm done here. Anyway, so Kim Jong Un, we don't know. Nobody knows. They're not talking, and even less people are whispering. If something happened to him, I would not want to be the doctor. No, he's fine. He's just sleeping in there. I'd be packing the bags, heading out of the country. maybe move off the planet, but I would not want to be the doctor that would come outside and say, I'm sorry, we've done all we can. No, it would be that man is just resting peacefully. He looks great. We're just going to let him sleep for the next 500 years, and then we'll wake him up. So anyway, what it says here: train likely belonging to Kim Jong Un spotted in satellite imagery amid health rumors. That doesn't mean squat. They're going to take his train, move it around a little bit. What I've been getting today, though, is that there's been a transportation stop essentially in North Korea. Trains have been stopped. A lot of military activity, a lot of things going on. A congregation of government officials from China has gone to North Korea. Again, we don't know. And until I know, all I can do is guess. And my guess is we don't know. That's a professional guess, by the way. Um, the Pentagon is focusing on most vital personnel for the sniffles tests. Um, I'm sure they want to do a military wide testing thing. I'm sure that they're going to want to test any vaccines that they come up with on the military because, we make good guinea pigs. I had 27 shots in one day when I went on alert for the Gulf War. So uh, they give you everything. Thank you, Effie. Please, again, if you have not gotten my D Live, please take a minute and grab that link from Effie Loves America. Jump over to D Live, hit the follow button, and follow me because I will be there. Um, all right, so there's basically, if you want to keep up on this thing, Military Times comes up with some decent articles. I try to check on them every week, and sometimes I get some good ones out of there. Sometimes I get speculation. It is not supposed to be a newspaper with a slant, but I don't know if there's any media besides this form of media that you're sitting at right now, even questionable. It's hard to find the truth. So everything has a slant. Everything seems like they're going left. So it's just hard. I will try to give you the truth as honestly and directly as I can. If I make a mistake, I will get on here and tell you I make a mistake. But everything I'll try to give you, I've researched and gone as deep as I can. So keep that in mind. I think they flew nice, fresh Falun Gong prisoners with new organs over to them. Probably. My favorite is a peanut butter shot, Alex. The milkshake. Is that the one you're referring to? Because were you in the Navy or were you in the Army, Eric? Because the one we got, we called it the milkshake. It went right into the top muscle of your ass and filled your ass up like a big ass injection of silicone. We all looked like we had implants put in our butts. So everybody came out of there with a bigger ass than they went in with until the shot spread out. But it's one of the 1 inch syringes and it's completely full and it has a needle on it about 4 inches long. You were in the Marine Corps. Okay. Yeah. In the Army, we called it the milkshake. You guys call it the peanut butter. Yeah, it covers it either way. But yeah, that was nasty. I've had a lot of shots. I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I've been hit by chainsaw blades and really nasty stuff. But I tell you what, that was one of the most unpleasant experiences I've ever had because it puts a bubble in your ass, which separates your skin from your muscle tissue, basically. And oh my God, that hurt. Just you walk like you've given birth for the next 4 or 5 hours. Anyway, enough about that. I'm sure people are going right now, and I don't want to. I don't want to have anybody having to clean up their keyboards. So, all right. So we're gonna finish this up. We might actually finish it up just a hair early tonight, but yeah, ouch is an incredible understatement. Dangerous freedom. Yeah, Colino, yeah. Ouch. Um, well put. Those are globin shots. Yes, gamma globin. Yes, they are. They said we could drink out of a septic tank after having something like that without worrying about getting sick. But what did they stick in us in order to allow us to drink out of a septic tank?
Huh. He said he's never got sick except in the shower.
Well, that's pretty good. I get sick very, very rarely. Um, Usually I knock it out in a day or two. Also, um, it's for hepatitis. Okay. Well, I don't know. With that much pain, I can't imagine hepatitis being that bad. Either way, it sucked. All right, so finishing up tonight on the guard news. Like I told you guys, I'm going to start doing this every week so we can keep an eye on what our National Guard is up to, because they are the close to home units that give us the help we need and take care of things. Um, all right, so first one here, it says, if I can find my cursor, it says Florida Guards signal soldiers press on during pandemic. The sniffles. Um, you take your vaxes daily? Yeah, the beer vax. All right, so in Fort Stewart in Georgia, for more than a year, the soldiers of the 146th Expeditionary Signal Battalion have been preparing for their first overseas deployment since 2009. Their mission is to provide a wide range of tactical and strategic signal support across multiple countries in U.S. Central Command's CENTCOM area of responsibility, which will enable the CENTCOM commander to conduct countless critical overseas missions. So that is good. Just days before mobilizing, the Department of Defense issued travel restrictions that prevented domestic and international travel to combat the sniffles, and the 146th ESB waited for the stop movement order that never came. Yeah, because the overwatch has to continue. Many people on the ground give a big sigh of relief when they hear that overwatch coming. So that's good. The mission's never going to stop. I know that the left wants it to. Thank you, Melody. Appreciate you. Um, oh, and thank you for the lemon DM. I saw it snuck in there on the end.
Okay.
Um, the I think you guys know about the tornadoes. I actually had some storms over by me that kicked me off the internet a few nights ago when I was actually on with Charity, and yeah, those storms made some nasty weather for some people, and the Monroe, Louisiana soldiers with the Louisiana National Guard's 527th and 528th Engineer Battalion and the 225th Engineer Brigade are supporting dual missions of the Sniffles response and dealing with the tornadoes. So, right on there with us. My brother was in the Army National Guard in the 125th Quartermaster Unit out of Massachusetts. It was water purification, right on. That's a good deal. DoD has jumped at the chance to prove the worth of its new AI capabilities amid the sniffles, with the move just months after the approval of the set of guidelines for the ethical use of AI. Yeah, I'm going to be doing another video later about the AI, because they're doing self-learning systems now that will be, military always gets first use. So if they're talking about using learning systems in the private sector now, it means the military has already been doing it for years. That's a mistake. Yeah, all I can think of is Terminator. When the computers realize that humans are too dangerous to each other, they will protect us from ourselves by getting rid of us. And, the deep state would love that. Um, Anyway, so it says, I'm so glad I don't have to work tomorrow. I ate way too much. I put the hurt on myself. Well, I hope you heal up quickly. Um, all right. So, anyway, the Virtual 5K. This is a run that they do apparently for sexual abuse awareness, sexual assault awareness, and I took a look at it earlier, but I really couldn't understand what they meant by virtual. Does that mean everybody running on a treadmill? You had an F2 tornado. That sucks. Yeah, we had an F0 here that actually removed some of our really old trees out by the water. It really sucked. Huh?
Because I took my mother for years in Iowa went through close calls tornado in
Oh,
Iowa.
yeah. Yeah, we had one go right through our yard. We watched it go by. It was really a trip up there in Iowa.
Iowa and come right over the house.
Well, it went right over the side. I had one of these whip antennas because I had a base station, and it took that thing and bent it straight over and touched the roof with it and snapped it back up. It didn't break, but it was a trip to
It
watch.
was in Iowa.
We were up there in Fairfield for a little while. My family grew up there. I didn't. Uh, Now it says New York Guard runs virtual 5K for sexual assault awareness. A sure sign of spring for the New York National Guard is the annual Sexual Assault Awareness 5K run, held along with other events that make April Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. The race is staged each year to have fun and raise awareness, explaining Chastity Riles, the sexual assault response coordinator at the New York National Guard headquarters. That's who that was, Chastity Riles. At the headquarters, 100 to 150 people usually turn out for the run, which is often on a trail along the Mohawk River. But getting that many people in one place was a no go this April because of the sniffles. So the decision was made to promote a virtual instead. We still wanted to acknowledge the day and we wanted to acknowledge the challenges that people are facing and to get them outside and active. So she and other organizers sent emails to Guard members around the state encouraging them to run 5K on their own and send in selfie photos of them running. All right, so it's not exactly virtual. Anyway, so I didn't read down far enough earlier. I have been through a fire, tornado, two earthquakes, and two marriages. Wow. Um, Not to compete, but I've been through floods, uh, two major earthquakes, a 8.3 and a 7.1, 8.3 in northern Japan, 7.1 Loma Prieta quake in California. Uh, I was in a train when Mount St. Helens went off, and it almost blew the train off the tracks. Uh, I've been in dust storms, hurricanes, tornadoes. I've been in every major disaster that I believe exists in at some point in my life, and you know, I think that I think evil was chasing me, but I got good at preparing for stuff. So when I say you got to get ready for stuff, then you got to get ready for stuff. Will 5G kill the sniffles and save the world? Eric, I don't know. 5G is a major question, and I just don't know. Nobody really knows. When you ask people that are supposed to be handling the research of 5G, they don't know. So, I don't know what to say. They just don't. They don't seem to have any good answers. But what do we got? 56 after. All right, I got 4 minutes. I'll stick around and see what you guys got going on. If you got any questions for me, um, let's see. I got through an F4 tornado and a 4.3 quake here in Canada. Very rare. Yes, indeed. Yeah. One of the most unusual things that I've been through is actually, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a thunder blizzard, but that is really, really impressive. If you can imagine the whole sky white because of the snow, huge snowflakes coming down, so big that when they hit the ground, it goes splat. And, you get an accumulation of, we had from 6 in the evening until 3 in the morning, we had 6.5 feet of snow that fell, and that was on top of 8 feet that was already on the ground, and it was insane. That thunder blizzard is one of the craziest things. Snake lightning going through the snowflakes and stuff. Uh, Invader Zim, I have a question. Can you tell what is the rainbow currency? Is it good or bad? Rainbow currency is good. Um, Rainbow currency just means that all denominations of currency are going to be backed by an equivalent in weight of a precious metal. And the reason they're saying rainbow currency is because not everything has to be backed by gold. Um, uh, International trade backed by gold is a good idea because you can move higher values of money with uh, less weight, so to speak. Uh, you know, you can move bigger volumes of money without having to worry about it because it'll be worth more backed by gold. But domestic currency backed by silver wouldn't be bad either because that means that you have a definite buying power that you can use to, for example, our currency right now is only worth about maybe 12 cents. I think I'm giving it way too much. I think it's probably more like 2 cents. Been a bit crazy. I have many computer tech issues lately. That sucks. But yeah, copper, brass, cold blue steel. Yeah, well, that works. But no, I think when they say rainbow currency, it means gold, obviously for the most value, silver for domestic. My guess would be domestic value for our currency. Uh, Smaller transactions with maybe titanium, palladium, copper. Copper actually has some value. So I mean, depending on what $100 bill, $50 bill, 20, 10, 5, and then down to your change, everything that you have is going to be backed by an equivalent amount of weight of some precious metal. So that's kind of how to explain that. When you think of how perilous life is and we all have been through, I personally have to believe in God and that our time are in his hands. Absolutely. Do you think the bankers have had their dirty hands in rainbow currency yet? No. That one is that's a pet project of the National Treasury, which is where our money is supposed to be coming from anyway. So no, the globalists are using their fiat currency backed by oil, and it's crashing. So that fiat currency is going to hyperinflate, which is going to suck for us for a little while. Once the Federal Reserve goes bankrupt, then the Treasury can kick in and say, "Sorry, we don't need you anymore. Have a nice day. Take care now. Bye bye." Then, and then we go to Treasury notes. Um, Sandy, can we petition to help you? Petition to help DM with what? He has already tried. Okay. All right, y'all. Yep, that's my hour. All done and finished and over with. But I just want to take a minute. I want to thank everybody for coming to hang out. My moderators, you guys rocked a joint. As always, appreciate you. Over there on D Live, thank you guys for the lemons and the ice creams and the diamonds and all the other good treats. Um, Good night, all reliable. And the rest of you have a wonderful evening. And until, remember, I got to make this announcement. Tomorrow, starting at, I think it's 9 o'clock my time. I think it's 10 o'clock Eastern. Um, I gotta make sure. But anyway, R-rated conservative. You're gonna have to be there. I'm gonna be doing some spots with him. We're gonna be doing this D Live drive. So if you get a chance, R-rated conservative, jump over there and let's hang out for a bit. Let's get everybody over onto D Live and start taking back our freedom of speech. That's the goal. Northern Tiger, appreciate you. Good night. All right, y'all. Until next time, stay in the fight.